Hi, Gregg Perry, the historic preservationist. Welcome back to the workshop. This is the Cape May clock, the that we looked at the dial a few episodes ago. Just examining the dial, we have either a holly or some kind of light wood string inlay on this, and to me it looks like it's mahogany. And I'm not sure what we have up here. This could be a mahogany cherry combination, which we sometimes see. This could actually be a walnut in here, but it looks like somebody has come over and they've colored over everything, and it looks opaque to me. But for what the client wants to do with this clock, he wants to throw it into the auction. I don't know how far we really want to go. I mean, the patina is there. We have a couple issues with a crack here and a crack on the base, but we're not worried about that. What we're talking, what we want to get today is we have a problem with the door here. The hinge came undone. So I'm going to lift up and take the door off and examine the hinge and do a quick glue repair if feasible. And then we'll pick this up at our next sitting. I don't think these are real old screws, but they're uh, they're not new neither. They're not new also, but the heads are not consistent. The gap is not consistent, so it doesn't want to receive a. Um, and I'm okay with this. I'm not going to strip these or anything like that. I want to examine the screws, and if need be, we'll put back some 18th century style screws as opposed to these. We will look at those, but I don't want to do any damage to the heads. Otherwise, I could be a little more careful, but I'm not doing any damage. That's the bottom line. Okay, so I think we got it. So let's just take a look first. We can put this guy down, and we have an issue here where the hinge is pulled out. I have this piece, which I'm going to try to sneak back in here and clamp down. I have a missing piece, which is not around, and I'm going to have to get a piece of veneer for there. But anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift this up, clean it out a little bit, and get some glue in there and reclamp. Okay. Okay, so we have our hide glue here. It's been heating up, and you need a small brush to really get in there. Depending on the size of what we're trying to reglue, I will wet that a little bit. Sometimes I'll put some steam in there to get the wood nice and wet. But and I feel good about with the plastic here. We're going to put these guys, these clamps. I don't think it's a problem. So move down just a hair. Take this off again. So we want to get plenty of the hide glue in there. So remember, hide glue is kind of adhering in two different ways. When it's just drying its setting, and then it has the final set is when the moisture seeps or proceeds to go into the wood. So I'm going to put on both sides. You can always wipe this stuff off, but we just want to make sure we have a really good bond. So we'll get a rag and take care of this. But so this is going to slip under here. And so I'm going to trying to move this over a little bit. I don't know if you can see that or not, but this guy doesn't want to go down readily. So I'm going to use the much more clamping pressure. So now that pulled down, and then this guy is over. And I think we can do it just with one of these clamps. It's on an angle, so make sure when you clamp down that nothing is moving, nothing is sliding. So yeah, so we're looking pretty good. I have a little piece here. I don't know if we can get it with the camera, but this little piece here, and I'm going to fit that in right there. Just some more hide glue in. And I'm going to use my skewer stick to push it down. And, we're going to do a little bit of, there you go, pushing it down. I'm getting squeeze out. So I'm going to let this sit before I try to come in and do any cleanup, but I'll come back probably in the next half hour and I will clean some of this off. So, but I think I'm going to move this over and put on the last piece also. So I got pretty good clamping power here. Again, I don't use these often for this, but they are plastic and there's going to be something done to this finish to do an upgrade on it. So I'm not worried about it. We're not causing any abrasion happening here. Uh, but I prefer to use high glue all the time whenever I can. All these things were made with high glue right up into the 1910, 20s, in the 20s, 1925. High glue has been used all the time. What I'd recommend everybody to do is put some uric acid in there. You can put some urine in it. Remember the guys back in the 18th century, 17th century, they'd have a huge pot of cow hides and various hides, and they're mixing it up with the fire underneath and putting water in it, and they would use it as a urinal in the center of the workshop. So you guys out there, you could do the same thing. Put some urine in there, and it gives it a little bit of perfume, but it really helps with a lot of elasticity and tensile strength. It increases it by 40%, both. Makes it more elastic, but it's not going to break. So, and we want something as elastic and as we can with wood movement as far as glue goes. Gregg Perry, the historic preservationist, signing off. Thanks all for listening. Next time we'll pick up with some finish restoration on this, what we're going to try to do. And I'm not sure yet because I've got to get back with the client. Thanks all for viewing. Thank you.